Hi everyone, this is Bleach Soul, and this is another plot discussion about the Wandering Inn while Pirate is still having their free time. And this week it's about Rhir and Drath, Goblin Island, and Minotaur Island, and their effect on the overall plot. We will start. If you have if you want to comment or speak, please type in reactions and comments, and if you want to speak, just tag me. We will start with Rhir. And Rhir, like, there are three big factions. You have the Blighted Kingdom, you have the demons, and you have the Antinium and Sleepy, if you want to consider a faction. So the Blighted Kingdom is making aggressive moves with regards to the new lands and trying to kidnap Kara and trying to frame the demons at the null with the null. And they are making quite aggressive, and they actually threaten Lionette in Alien Damos. So yeah, they are making quite the aggressive move, and I wonder how long will it be before it backfires. Like when Kara gets on some kind of an orb and just tell the world that the Blighted Kingdom tried to kidnap her and show them the evidence after she frees her friends, her band, and show them like the sigil and the weapons and the people who tried to kidnap her. Then the Blighted King wouldn't be able to deny the truth. As for with regards to the demons, we haven't seen much of them lately, but we have like a fourth Deathless, and well, I'm not sure what's the end game here for them. I mean, they want to, of course, to break the Blighted Kingdom, and one of them wanted to free the genie. So, what do you guys think? Any kind of thoughts about first the Blighted Kingdom and demons, and then we'll take the Antinium and Sleepy afterwards. That guy says Sleepy is totally a faction. One girl faction. Slay Queen Slay. What evidence is there of the attack? Oh, you mean Ankara? Well, I mean just the soldiers and their you know their their clothes, their weapons, their communication. They can maybe analyze the orb and track it and see if it's connected to the Blighted Kingdom and stuff. That guy, go ahead.
I think that won't go anywhere because the Blighted Kingdom got very good at covering its traces over the years. I mean, they've been doing this for hundreds of years, so I doubt if there will be any evidence left. And I mean, even if Kara goes onto an orb and confesses, I mean, she's popular, she has her fans, but I don't think that the rulers will respect her statements.
Yeah, but if you wanna like have this kind of questioning, like what reason does Kara have to lie about the Blighted Kingdom? And and after the revelations from Lucivia, I don't know what's her name. Maybe that's how you pronounce her name. Yeah, the leader of Manos. So you know that there are skills that can lie by omission and get past the truth spells and everything. So actually, what reason does Kara have to lie about the Blighted Kingdom? So even though they have been doing that for centuries, but nobody has just made a hole in their argument about the truth spells or the skills, the classes that can make them surpass the truth spell. At least, if nothing else, it will create a huge doubt about them among the Terendrian companies. And if Seraphel, the princess there, confirm she meets up with Kara and confirm what Kara is saying, that will be extremely credible.
Yeah, maybe, but I'm not sure if the many world powers, would even care if, they kidnap some people, as long as they're still doing their jobs, fighting demons and fighting all the horrors that come out of that pit.
Yeah, well, they might not care if they kidnap people, but they are kidnapping Earthers, and Earthers have a huge value, and everybody knows that. And there's like a huge arm race to get the Earthers. So I don't agree. Like there will be barely any complaint about them, even though if the Blade Kingdom doing its job or whatever it was considered. I mean, the Earthers are massive value at the moment, and everybody like all the leaders now know about them after the revelations in the Knoll Expo. So
I
yeah, yeah, go ahead.
I think if anything is going to, spell the downfall of the Blighted Kingdom, it's going to be that the world figures out what sort of cost they paid for the ritual. I think if the Blighted Kingdom wants to stick around, they need to keep that under wraps at all costs. I don't think they. I mean, all these kingdoms have their own Earthers, and Blighted King has a lot, and they want resources, but I don't. I mean, all those kingdoms probably would have liked to have Kara, but they weren't really making, competing for her. So it's a bit of a whatever sort of situation.
Maybe,
I mean, it's
but
not a good look for the Blighted Kingdom to go around and kidnapping people.
but
It's gonna.
but you have to understand, like it's a huge power play, and the more Earthers they have, the more power will they have. So people might be concerned about expanding the Blighted Kingdom's power, especially after what we've seen in the timeline where they invade, when they become like a world power, and invade everything and try to become like the king trying to become a god or something. I
Yeah,
mean,
we know
it's
that.
yeah, yeah, I understand that, but I mean, like there are some people who think like too much concentrated power is still very dangerous, even if it's still against common enemy. Because if that common enemy is defeated, the weapon might turn against everyone else.
Yeah, but right now, with all the the deaths of the demons, coming back, I think the world is not very concerned with the Blighted Kingdom getting more powerful, because the
Well,
propaganda has worked really well for the Blighted Kingdom. They managed to demonize the demons, and so they get away with a lot of stuff they wouldn't get away otherwise, because they can always just say, "Oh, we're fighting this huge threat, and they will kill you all if we don't deal with them."
yeah, but I mean, if Niers exposed them after he told them, "What are you doing in my continent?" That will be maybe a different kind of language because Nier is quite capable and quite recognizable, worldwide. If Kara's words are not enough and Nier's backs her up, then that will be a different ball game, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, there's some credit to that, but I think whatever happens, it's definitely not going to be an easy one and done sort of deal. Like some sort of huge reveal makes all the Blighted Kingdom crumble. I think it's going
Uh,
to be a very long and a very difficult process,
yes, I
even
do
with all
agree
this
with that.
evidence.
I do agree with that. I'm not saying they're gonna crumble now, but it will put a hole in their credibility, and their power will start diminish bit by bit. I'm not saying like everything will just crumble but it will be like a starting of a domino effect. Like today this news, tomorrow the other news, and then more will be coming. More news and information will be coming, and I mean, at least with Terrendrians, because Kara is so popular there, they might lose some support there. You know, at the very least within Kalinfar, because there's no way in hell Seraphel would allow her, would tell her parents to just support the Blight Kingdom after what they tried to do with Kara.
Well, if it's advantageous for Calanfear to support the Blighted Kingdom, they will do so, no matter what Seraphil says.
Well, that's true. So we'll move on to the Antinium and Sleepy.
Someone's still typing.
Yes, I can see. LFIM says, I think the Blighted Kingdom will need to transgress even further before public opinion starts to turn on them. What they've done is heinous to the reader, but it's not really anything to piss off other world powers, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean that's probably the correct assumption, but I mean if it's a small hole in their armor, and then that will and other other infos start coming out of them, so it will become much more credibility issue and trustworthiness. All right. If we move on to the Antinium and Sleepy, the Antinium are really struggling right now, and they are waiting enforcements from Israel, the Antinium of Israel and Kilkebich. So besides, I just recently read the conversation between Mirax and the demons, and they were offering to destroy like the Blighted Kingdom up to the first wall. But then something happened, and they canceled the plans. So I think so is the war with Sleepy now. Sleepy is conjuring new nightmares, or at least something of that sort. So yeah, what is the thought about the war? How the war would go between Sleepy and the Antinium? The Antinium are getting desperate, as far as I can see. So the Israel Antinium are still long way from ready to face Sleepy, but at least the faith classes will make a huge impact, I do believe. That guy writes, BK is a political beast much like Kalinfer. Taking them down decisively will require a high-level person with political skills. Yeah, like Naravia, maybe. Well, here's a question. Would Naravia actually, now that she made a contract with the Blighted King, would she actually undermine him? Now would she actually try to undermine the Blighted Kingdom with her knowledge about his skills and expose him? Mystical Pie says, narratively, I think the Rhir Antinium are just way too powerful to be introduced into the conflict in the rest of the world. Probably we won't actually get to see much of them until the final conflict. I think the focus, Antinium-wise, will be the Israeli ones. Yeah, but they're still getting quite beaten. I do agree they are extremely powerful, especially with like Mirax dismantling Sylvania with like two touch of his string, of his loot. That guy writes, I would not be surprised if Sleepy is cooking up something nasty again. She got prodded a lot recently, so she might feel like it's time for a new horror. But this feels like it is very far away. I think Naravia will blackmail the Blighted King and bleed him as much as she can. Yeah, that's probably correct. But how is Sleepy's corruption will spread? And I know like the demons have been transformed. Some of them has been transformed because of the corruption. Will defeating Sleepy end the corruption, or killing Sleepy will end the corruption? Do you guys think? And how will that affect the rest of the world and the Krellers and and everything and the gods even? Antinium, that guy writes, Antinium are one of the most powerful factions out there, I think, stronger than the Blighted Kingdom potentially. I think the corruption will remain but fade over the centuries. Yeah, that's probably correct. The correct take. LFIM writes, I don't think killing Sleepy will remove the existing corruption, but there won't be any more. That guy writes, Krellers will also still be around, just without their goddess. Yeah, and there won't be any more creation of them. I mean, Sleepy was throwing Elder Krellers at Casigna. It's also funny that the gods don't dare to tread on Rhir. It's because Sleepy has a physical body, right? And they don't have like their full power yet. Isn't that the issue? Krellers, that guy also writes. Krellers can reproduce by themselves just fine. Yes, but I mean, you know, it will take centuries for them to become like adults and elders and ancient. That guy writes, I assume Sleepy can gobble up the gods like the gods gobble up mortal souls. Yeah, that's probably correct. That's why nobody enters Rhir. The gods don't enter Rhir. Any more thoughts about the Antinium and Sleepy? By the way, if I remember correctly, when Sylvania has met with Fetoheb, the Koras and King of Destruction in Chandrar, and she told them about the Earthers and what they could do to protect themselves from Earthers, she was laughing that they don't have guns. Do you think the demons are manufacturing guns? I know like Flora has a gun, but are they manufacturing guns or what? Because we know they have lots of Earthers right now. Uh, that guy writes, Antinium might get real mad at the demons when they find out that they have been blocking information about their colonies from reaching them. LFIM writes, I do hope Erin uses her theater to put Kilkevich and Zern in touch with Mirex eventually. Kilkevich was too ashamed to face the Rhir Antinium, but he needs to suck it up. Yeah, I agree with that. It will be maybe a huge development for him as well. That guy writes, demons are totally making guns. Sylvania is basically the ultimate factory. You know, I really don't get, I mean, Sylvania is like over level 80, so she should be soloing the Blighted Kingdom, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, like, who's in the Blighted Kingdom? Like, are nobody in Blighted Kingdom are that high level. I understand the first wall is like a problem, but all the other walls should be like soloed by Sylvania and the other Deathless, because also Samptova is over level 70. So I believe they should be like destroying the Blighted Kingdom like nothing. LFIM writes, there is some kind of contract with an earlier BK, hobbling Sylvania, I think. That guy writes, Blighted Kingdom has got a lot of Uber artifacts and a lot of high-level individuals. That one general guy with the lightning cavalry. BK is counter-leveling. Yeah, that's probably correct, but still, I mean, level 80 should probably mop the floor with them. But that's probably I mean, Sylvania is still hurt, right? She's still not fully recovered. All of the Deathless are still not fully recovered. So probably that's why they haven't put more of an effort. That guy writes they have level 60s or even 70s, I think. He's talking about the Blighted Kingdom. I don't believe they have any level 70. Who is level 70? The Chronomancer? LFIM writes Sylvania got roughed up by Cowen during the solstice too. Oh, yeah, that's true. Did Sylvania do anything to Cowen at all? That guy writes, not to mention she is still very injured. But did Sylvania pose any threat to Cowen, or did she hurt Cowen in any way? I don't believe that she did. Cowen was using the Ladonna, LFIM writes. Yeah, but still. That guy is typing. That guy writes, I think she could have hurt her, but she was pulling her punches because any big spell in the teleportation dimension would have caused extreme destruction. Yeah, that's probably correct. Well, if there are no more discussions about, if nobody has any idea or any thoughts to write about Rhir, then we can move on to Drath. Now, Drath is a mystery. We know it's a cultivation and East Asian inspired, like I think it's Japanese, Chinese, Korean, some something like that, inspired, and they have cultivations over there. And we know, like they are prowling the sea to destroy, to fight the Seam Walkers. So, um, would that slaver lord who went to Rhir and talking about Seam Walkers, he seems like he will ally himself with Drath to fight Seam Walkers. Uh, so what Drath's role will be besides fighting Seam Walkers in the in the end game? Yeah, that guy writes Haven, Upperland, BK, Blighted Kingdom is its foremost general is over level 60. Oh yeah, the highest level lord on Earth. Yeah, thank you, that guy. Yes. So what role was Drath do? I mean, they don't support the Blighted Kingdom, and they just fight. You know, they keep out of the world's affair, and they just fight Seam Walkers. It seems. That guy writes, I assume Drath is going to play a big part in Ryoka, her journey to keep up with all her power leveling friends. How? How so? That guy? Can you expand on it? LFIM, teaching Rasktooth to become a young master. Yeah, or Picona, she learns that too. Now that on, do you guys think that cultivation will be spread into other continents? That guy writes cultivation is something Ryoka can probably do without levels. But cultivation, I mean, the cultivation is a class. I'm not sure if it can be done without levels, but maybe it can. That guy writes, also, she can eat super drugs to make herself tougher and stronger. Oh yeah, these pills and stuff. LFIM answers, I'd rather it not. Talking about cultivation. Let cultivation remain something more limited and obscure. Is that because it's very complicated in different magic system? That guy writes, yes, but cultivation relies heavily on divine medicine and breakthroughs. But I mean, breakthroughs are like more class related because we haven't seen. Well, we don't know much about cultivation. There might be like classless cultivators. Who knows? But would Drath do something like besides the Seam Walkers? If I remember correctly, they participated in destroying the mines in Belarus after trying to kidnap Geneva, and they broke the wall. So are they like just defense against global threats? Will they play a role if the Negatane Empire came back, for instance? Uh, LFIM writes, Zenrir told Eren to go to Dres to seek allies, so they're going to do something. Well, I hope so. We haven't seen Rhir yet. We haven't seen Drath yet at all. That guy writes, Drath seemed like sort of warden of the world type of nation. Yeah, they seem pretty powerful too. They stay neutral and only fight world threats. Yeah, but it's strange they didn't strike against the Goblin King. Uh, that guy also writes, they stay out of all the squabbling. Yeah, I mean, that's true. It's they only interfere in case of world-ending events or something like that. That guy writes, they might have ancient elves knowledge and more about Goblin King origins. Why do you think that, though? LFIM writes, there may be more dragons there. Oh, that's a good idea. That's actually a nice idea. I like maybe they're like a refuge for dragons over there. That guy writes, it seems like all the nations they have been able to endure the best over the millennia. Yeah, I mean, Drath is pretty ancient. I do believe. So yeah, they have been doing quite well for the past several thousand years, you can say, to endure all kind of dangers. Uh, that guy also writes not only ancient but still very powerful. Yes, I do agree. Maybe maybe the waning world has never affected Drath, probably. Uh, that guy writes not diminished like the walled cities, for example. Fighting seamwalkers all the time probably help keeping their level up. I mean, are there like seamwalkers all the time? Are they? Are there still any seamwalkers in the Dyad lands? Maybe Drath will go there to fight them or something. Uh, that guy writes. Apparently, something comes over the edge every now and then. Oh yeah, I mean it's in probably in the visual. It is in the visual novel. Hey, that guy says I don't know. I haven't read the visual novel yet. LF, I am right. The walled cities were diminished by their own avarice and greed. Drath and the Freylings seem like avenues to restore the knowledge lost thanks to Zelkir. Yeah, actually, I do agree with that. Drake's biggest enemies are Drakes. While Drath and Freylings just work as a community, and they seem to keep the knowledge and advance their species or civilizations. That guy writes Drakes are somehow tied to almost everything that's wrong in the world. LFIM writes damn Drakes, they ruined Israel. Well, yeah. Uh, all right. If there are, that guy is typing. That guy writes changed my mind. About what? Ah, all right. Uh, now we're gonna move on to other island nations or kingdoms or whatever you can call them. There are like two I'm really interested in. There are the Goblin Island and the Minotaur Isles. So now with the peace treaty that Rhir will be sponsoring probably soonish, what effect will peace between the Minotaur and Goblin Islands have effect on the world beyond them? And will the Minotaur now after the peace treaty, will the Minotaur send their armadas there and try to, let's say, fight flaws or do some other stuff? Uh, that guy writes beyond them, probably not much, unless Minotaurs go out to find other people to fight. Mystical Pie writes, I really hope we get more chapters on the Goblin Minotaur Island. That interlude was one of my favorite chapters of the past few years. Yeah, I mean, we got to know that both the Minotaurs and the Goblins don't go full out in fear of repercussions between each other, and yeah, like there are lots of secrets in on the Goblin Island that we have seen, like, and you know, it's strange that there are no Goblin kings that come from the Goblin Island, or no more, and not many lords anymore who come from the Goblin Islands. So they uh, they have like strict policies about doing that. Apparently, LFIM writes the Minotaurs will start expanding territory. The Goblins were supposed to keep them hemmed in after their last attempt at imperialism. The Minotaur King was also offering Rhir a navy, which means the Forgotten Wind Company will be expanding too. Actually, that's a great point, but I do not think the Minotaurs will be expanding. I think they will be freer to go and be more like a mercenary type, probably, but with honor. You know, they will fight the honor. They will not be hired, for instance, by Rochal to go and kidnap and put people to slavery, but they will be hired probably by I don't know, like for instance. Let's say Terrendrians to destroy the the half-elf alchemist at sea, or something like that. That guy writes, I get the impression that Eren and Ulvama are going to be traveling to the Goblin Island after being done in Belarus. Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure really about that because, they have to find Rabbit Eater and the others, and after finding Rabbit Eater and the others, they have to go back to Israel. But the Island might be also, quite some kind of different plot points there for Eren to see, the ancient goblin culture and how they interact with each other, and maybe learn more about history about goblins. Uh, Mystical Pie writes, the effect of their treaty will probably be freeing the Minotaurs to do more mercenary work and focus on their colonies on Israel. And it will be free Izkir to send more support troops to the goblins in need around the world. Yes, I do agree with that, but I'm not sure about their colonies on Israel. I mean, I know they have sent some people to the new lands, but yeah, I'm not sure if they wanna really, because they are really aware of their past about colonization and expansionism and imperialism. I don't believe they will fall into that trap again. That guy writes, Minotaur plus Forgotten Wing alliance will be damn scary. Rabbit Eater can come too. Yeah, I mean, Forgotten Wing Company getting Minotaur-based navy will be a huge deal for Niers, who doesn't have a navy, or at least any significant naval presence. So that means Niers will be challenging the Dullahans and at sea. So yeah, it will be a huge plot point, but we'll see if. I mean, at least the Minotaur King is making steps to start peace talks with the Goblin Island. LFIM writes, Ulvama wants to take Eren to the island eventually. Is Rhir, is Belarus close to the Goblin Island? I'm not really sure about the geography there. That guy writes, I just think that now is a great opportunity for them to take the trip, especially if they meet up with Belarus Goblin Lord. They are also searching for Eren apparently. Uh, yes, I mean, Kenneth is yeah. Kenneth was searching for Eren. I mean, he's still they are still searching for Eren. Uh, from what apparently when they found Neri and they knew she's not Eren. So yeah, they are searching for Eren, and so actually I was thinking if if Ulvama and Eren get found by Kenneth, he will restore them to their size. But yeah, probably the Freylings will make it that they can change sizes whenever they want. LFIM writes, also Tulm is gone to the new lands, which is going to really hurt the Iron Vanguard when Niers gets his navy. Is he going to the new lands, or he's going to hunt for dragons on Israel? I thought he was going after Teriarch. That guy writes, peace talks might also involve Eren as a sort of envoy. Actually, that's a great idea. Maybe she'll get a diplomat class. Or no, she will level up as an innkeeper because she'll have him and she'll have them in her inn, or at least the wandering innkeeper, and then she will make peace treaty probably. LFIM answered me about the location of the Goblin Island. The island is between Israel and Belarus. Thank you, LFIM. That guy writes, they can make a stop on the way back. Oh, yeah, on the Goblin Island, yes. LFIM writes, Tolm was seen clashing with Tarandrians in New Lands, I believe. That guy writes, peace talks will happen in her inn, so it totally counts. Yeah, innkeeper, wandering innkeeper of peace. Probably. Yes, so any more thoughts and discussion about, by the way, with regards to the Goblin Island, they sent goblins to enforce the goblins in Israel. We haven't seen them arrived yet. Do you think they will arrive and join Rags before she moves into the new lands? Because maybe Pirate has forgotten about them or something. But because they they should be joining like Rags soon. They have been on the sea for a long while. Uh, LFIM writes, we haven't seen the new people from Kalanfar either. That guy writes, I don't think Pirate has forgotten. Goblins are just very sneaky. We won't hear anything from them until they arrive. Yeah. Mystical Pie is typing. Mystical Pie writes, I'm not sure, to be honest. It feels like the point of the island reinforcement is helping goblins in need, and Rex doesn't need help. But also, I doubt we get a chapter from a random goblin tribe, so hopefully they joking, Rex. LFIM writes, Grey Death was on a ship during the Palace of Fates. Maybe that's them. Ah, that might be them. That guy is typing. That guy writes they might still send a few goblins to Rags, her tribe, just to educate her about goblin culture. Actually, I want that to happen. Because Rags doesn't seem to know much outside of her visions about goblin culture because, she's like what, 4 years old? Yes, so by the way, we can add the island of Irgel, of where Irgel comes, and how and how that affected every all the world about producing healing potions and stuff. LFIM writes, most Israeli goblins don't know goblin culture because Grey Death is a bum. Yeah, that's true. That guy writes, Rags is also originally from a tribe that was very primitive and did not have a shaman, so they forgot a lot. Yeah, that's probably correct. What's the name of that final line where there are seam walkers? Maybe you can talk a bit about that. Ilir Island vanished and no one seems to want to give any specifics. Very suspicious. One of the Genevas were going there to see what's happening. Maybe we'll have maybe some perspective to see what's going on, or I mean, like adult Marsha or Arima is like teaching them a new healing spells or something. So it's probably not that important. The fact that we didn't get any detail is very strange. That guy writes very suspicious, but the fact that we didn't get any details is very strange about the Irgel Island. LFIM writes by the last tide 3 to find out, coming eventually. That guy writes, just the island is gone. It's quite strange that, many kingdoms have not sent fleets to search for it because, without Irgel, there's no healing potions. And healing potions are like extremely important for everything. That guy writes, know how or why the island is gone. Yeah. LFIM writes, I assume it went over the last tide, so there is nothing to find. Mystical Pie and that guy are typing. Mystical Pie writes, didn't they say it was Seamwalkers or something? It's been so long I don't remember. If it was Seamwalkers, presumably they're just trusting Drath's word. That guy writes, exactly. Healing potions are so critical to everyone. You'd think that every reporter out there would send a team to investigate and get the scoop. I'm not sure there's that advanced in reporting, but I mean, I was talking more about kingdoms and cities and whatever influential people sent some teams there to investigate. And also, it's strange that there is only one island that produces the entire world's quantity of air gel. LFIM writes, the grand design seemed to confirm that it's gone for good when it announced that healing potions were no longer holding back levels. That guy writes, the island is probably one of the wonders of the world created by level 70 to 80 person long ago, much like sage grass or the high passes. Mystical Pie writes, it kind of feels like a plot hook that's supposed to be explored in the last Tide comics, but we just haven't had the continuation of the series, so we haven't found out. Yeah, I do agree about that. It seems like a quite plot point for the last Tide comics, part 2 and 3. Or how many are there? That guy writes, poor Pirate Ava is overworked. Yeah, so many projects, so little time. Well, if needs to hire a team of writers just to get through everything. Yeah. Well, if you guys have any thoughts about any kind of plot discussion we can go through right now, just write it, or else we'll end the recording. That guy writes, start the in cinematic universe. Yeah. Well, actually, an animated the Wandering Inn series will be quite fun. The comics, though, it's so slow. It's really like they're drawing every single word. It feels like it's taking forever to move on to anything. That guy writes, I have not read the comics yet. I'm actually reading like one page at a time so I do not have an opinion right that yet, says that guy. All right. Well, if there are no more thoughts about these kind of topics, plot points, or any other plot points that you want to discuss, so we can end the stream now or recording now. So thank you all for participating and have a good day.